the community is rallying around the taxi driver who was badly injured in a crash on the Burrard Street Bridge earlier this week. Larry Claypool was behind the wheel of the yellow cab taxi when an Audi R8 lost control, crossed the center line and smashed into his cab. Both Claypool and his passenger, Christian Zelichowski, were taken to hospital with serious injuries. According to Yellow Cab spokesperson Carolyn Bauer, Claypool remains unconscious in the intensive care unit, where he spent his 69th birthday. He has gone through multiple surgeries. The latest surgery was late last night. His condition is very serious, wrote Bauer in an email. Bauer said close friends have been staying by Claypool's side, and that this power of love will help Larry find his way back to his family at Yellow Cab. Taxi driver Larry Claypool spent his 69th birthday in hospital after surviving a horrific crash on the Burrard Street Bridge. A friend of Zelichowski's has started an online fundraiser for Claypool, and says his actions behind the wheel may have saved the younger man's life. The first thing that Christian tried to communicate to his family when he came out of sedation was, taxi driver, said Keiko Voss. He was so concerned about Larry's well-being because of how Larry tried to do his best to save the two. On the fundraising page, Voss writes that Claypool has spent more than 30 years transporting the people of Vancouver in his cab, and is known as an icon within the city. One of the nicest, friendliest, most compassionate drivers in Vancouver. The minute you get in his taxi, you can easily sense just how much he cares for his work, his passengers, the city, she wrote. Voss told Global News that she's been hearing others share their experiences in his taxi since the crash. From this accident, I think a lot of people have been talking about their experiences with him, she said. My colleague was in his cab earlier this year and she remembered him distinctively for how well he was during the ride and how personable but professional he was. But he was talking about his stories and she just remembered how he stood out. Watch, fatal crash closes Burrard Bridge. Several friends of Zelichowski's have made donations, some leaving personal messages thanking him. I'm a friend of Christian, your passenger in the accident. Thank you for your action in making sure he survived the accident. I wish you a speedy recovery, wrote one. Others thanked Claypool for his years of service as a driver. Thank you for your service to this city, getting people home safely for so many years, said another message. By Saturday evening, a little over a day after it was created, the page had raised about $8,000 of its $20,000 goal. The driver of the Audi, a man in his 30s, died in the crash. Police have not released his identity. Investigators believe speed was a factor in the collision.